our office here seem to be into one drink more than others at happy hour, and that's the Michelada. Joining us today is Chef Mena, a chef at New York restaurant Hecho in Dumbo, which has many inventive twists on the drink. Hi, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So it's probably fair to say that this drink is increasing in popularity, right?
Definitely. I think people are really starting to understand it. The more people learn about Mexico, the more they like spices.
And what's the background for the Michelada?
So the Michelada, there's two stories about who invented it. It was Mr. Mitchell, who had his lemonade, and so it was Mitchell's lemonade, Michelada. Or chela in Mexico is what they call beers, and so it's Michelada, which means my frozen beer. So that's kind of the two variations. I like Mitchell's lemonade.
Yeah, me too. And you can make a standard Michelada, but you can also do some variations on, the
Exactly.
basics.
So the Michelada starts off with basically just beer and lime juice, and then from there you can kind of add anything you really want to.
So today we're making a special drink that you can get at Hecho in Dumbo.
Exactly.
What ingredients do we have?
So we're doing the Michelada Cubana. So it has fresh lime juice, Valentina, jugo Maggi, and Worcestershire, which we call Inglesa, much easier to pronounce. And so this is what we
some beer.
And of course beer. So we're using this wonderful Mexican beer called Bohemia, but you can use any beer that you really like.
Well, without further ado, let's get
let's
started.
do it.
What's the first step?
First step is we're going to add some ice. Michelada, you can't have a good, nice frozen beer without ice.
Indeed not.
So we'll do two, one for you and one for I.
That sounds good. So you don't need too much ice, just
No, just a little bit to get it cold. You don't want to really dilute it too much.
Yeah.
So depending on the size of the ice cubes, you do like 3 or 4. First thing we start off with, we do 1.5 ounces of lime juice.
Great.
Do this guy. Throw him in there.
The lime juice will add a nice little kick.
Yeah, exactly. This is what gives it really its freshness. So this is what we kind of started off with. And then this is where your variations come. I like mine a little bit spicy, so we're going to do a full ounce of this Valentina.
Now, if you don't have Valentina, could you substitute in a different sort of hot
Yeah,
sauce,
you really want to go with one of the Mexican ones that are a little bit less vinegary than, let's say, like Texas Pete or those, but like buffalo sauce or even Cholula.
Oh, yeah.
Some people like it with Tabasco. So it's kind of up to you, really, how much spice and what ingredient you want to use.
Yeah.
Then we have jugo Maggi, which is, well, we'll just do a couple dashes of this.
Okay. Now, what is this?
Jugo Maggi is Mexico's version of soy sauce.
Oh, okay.
It comes from China, but everybody in Mexico uses it, and we season everything with it.
Okay.
And then we like the Worcestershire that adds a little bit of sweetness, a little bit more of salt.
And is this also for the Cubana variation?
This is for our Cubana variation.
Okay.
So this is kind of how we do it. So we do like 4 parts of the Maggi, 2 parts of the Worcestershire, and then we do about 1 ounce of the Valentina.
You can already see there's a lot of color in this glass.
And unlike James Bond, we like to actually stir and not shake ours.
I'll help out over here
Exactly,
on this one.
like that. And then what makes it really interesting as well is you pour the beer in, the first sips you're going to have are going to be very strong. It's one of the things about having this, this beer. And as you start drinking it, little by little, it kind of dilutes, and you keep adding your beer to make it actually your.
I like it. That adds a little bit of an interactive element to drinking the
Exactly. So it kind of changes. So the first sip that you have is going to be very different than the last sip you have.
Yeah, and I see we also have some salt on the rim here.
Exactly.
Is that standard too?
That is standard. That kind of lime juice and salt really works very well together.
Time-honored margarita tradition.
Exactly.
Well,
so
we should obviously taste and test. Delicious. Now this is pretty refreshing, and I know sometimes people like to drink Michelada as a hangover cure too.
For our brunch, we serve this one and we serve the regular one, and it is fantastic. When you're a little bit hungover, nothing's better than hair of the dog, and the spice and the lime and the beer is the perfect combination.
In place of your morning coffee.
I think so.
Multi-purpose. Well, thanks so much, Danny.
Thank you so much.